Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
I want toughness. I want guys to get along. And I want our community, our students, our fans to feel like they have some ownership in our program. It takes a special group, you know. I think the chemistry of this group is off the charts. You know, it's been that way most of the time, and it just kind of is growing.
Thanks to a 73-51 win over Minnesota on Tuesday, the Michigan State men's basketball team improved to 9-0 in Big Ten play and grew their current winning streak to 13 games. It also marked the first time in program history MSU has gone undefeated in December and January in the same month. The 13-game winning streak is also the program's longest since the 2018-19 season. This week, we had a chance to sit down with head coach Tom Izzo, who celebrated his 70th birthday this week on Thursday. All right, well, you obviously have been doing this for a long time here at Michigan State. To have something for the first time still, winning every game in December and January, how special is that for you and this group to accomplish?
You know, until the media brought it up to me last night, I had no clue. And I'm not saying that humbly, I had no clue. I think part of it is, over the years, we've always had tough schedules, and it's hard to win every game, you know. But the way it went, and we had the early games in November, so I guess it's another milestone. You know what I like about it? When it was brought up to my team last night, that they have something to hang their hat on. You know, every team that leaves here, you hope has something that they did that somebody before them didn't do. And when you can do that, that's pretty cool. So I'm more happy for my team than me.
Yeah, 13-game winning streak, 9-0 in the Big Ten currently. You know, I know you've talked about the schedule is going to get a lot tougher now coming up, but for this team to stay focused on the 9 games in Big Ten play, what does that just say about this group this year?
Well, I think it's incredible because I don't care who you play. When you go on streaks in this day and age with everything that's going on around you, it takes a special group, you know. I think the chemistry of this group is off the charts. You know, it's been that way most of the time, and it just kind of is growing, you know. Adversity will hit probably, and when it does, that's when we'll really learn, is it strong enough or not? But I said that coming back from Rutgers, you know, the bad travel we had, the 4 in the morning, all the stuff. It would have been a good excuse to have a letdown, and we started out that Minnesota game like they were on a mission, and I think they're starting to figure some things out on just how valuable and important their passion, their energy, and their chemistry is.
Ben Johnson, Minnesota's coach, talked afterwards about he could sense that connectiveness and how much chemistry this group has. What does that mean when another coach can sense that about your guys?
Well, he said 2 things to me. He said, you have unbelievable chemistry. 3 things. He says, you're really tough. And he said, and this crowd is unbelievable. And man, for me, that's music to my ears. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. You know, I think I appreciate all those things. I want toughness. I want guys to get along. And I want our community, our students, our fans to feel like they have some ownership in our program. And the only thing left is maybe we all should sit back, because he's telling you it isn't like that everywhere, not just where he is, but other places he's been. And I appreciate that.
What do you think it is that a coach can sense on the court of, like, this group has that feel where they just enjoy being around each other?
Well, it's probably watching them talk to each other. If somebody messes up, how do they handle it? You know, we really can see a lot when you're coaching on the other team. You know, somebody misses a screen and roll or misses a pass. Are they complaining about it, or are they doing it a different way? And I think what he realizes, these guys stick together pretty good.
Yeah, strength in numbers is obviously a big term you talk about a lot, this team talks about a lot. Who's the one that came up with that term, I guess, this year? The reason why it's on the board right now in practice?
Yeah. Well, Doug Wojcik and I were talking about it one day, and he said we just got to have strength in our numbers. And I said, hey, that's kind of what the Warriors went through. They have their big shirts on that. And the be different thing was something I did because I just didn't like the way the game of basketball was going. And I don't want it to be the same as everybody else. I want it different. And they bought into both. And yeah, we made it a big deal because I think it's very important. The strength in numbers is why we've won. Everybody knows that. And being different means don't get caught up in the outside world. Don't get caught up in Twitter. Don't get caught up in families and friends and girlfriends and all the things that go on. Just try to stay focused on your task and don't fall into the depths that a lot of people do.
That strength in numbers motto was on full display on Tuesday against Minnesota. Junior guard Trey Holloman was the team's leading scorer with 12 points, and 9 total players had at least 5 points in the victory. Our conversation with the Hall of Famer is far from over. We'll continue it right after the break.
When you grocery shop with MSU FCU Cashback Plus, you get cash back. When you buy prescriptions, you get cash back. When you travel, dine out, buy gas, make home improvements, get up to 20% of your hard-earned cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Discover how at msufcu.org/cashback plus.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last Saturday, the Michigan State men's basketball team took down Rutgers 81-74 at Madison Square Garden in New York. Freshman guard Jace Richardson led the way with 20 points, helping MSU record 50 bench points in the victory. Depth has been very key for this year's MSU team to go on a 13-game winning streak, and head coach Tom Izzo is hoping that can continue as the team heads west for a game against USC on Saturday and a game at UCLA on Tuesday. Through 9 Big Ten games, you've had 6 different leading scorers in those games. What is it about this group, or where did it come from, where they're so unselfish and they don't mind who's scoring?
I think they're growing into that. I think they really are, and we're lucky. Our bigs are very, very unselfish, and our guards are just getting better at it. I think Trey and Jeremy and Jace have really can really pass the ball. Just like the other night, and between Jeremy and Jace, we had 14 assists and 1 turnover. And those kind of numbers are phenomenal, and that means other people are getting the ball. If, or I should say when, we start making open shots, those assists are going to go up, and then we'll take a good team and maybe make it into even something more special.
Yeah, I know you've talked a lot about Jace and just what he's done to impress you as a freshman. He has 20 points against Rutgers, and then doesn't score the most against Minnesota, but he has 8 assists. Just, I guess, every game, is it just something new with him for you?
He has one of the higher basketball IQs of any player I've coached. He just sees the game, and it comes very smooth to him. But probably the biggest thing he has is unselfishness. Sometimes I'm telling him, look for your shot more, do this more. Very seldom do you have to tell a guard to do that. But he does have a high basketball IQ, and he's really learning to play with Jeremy and Trey and Jaden and Cohen. And I threw that nice lob to Cohen. Sooner or later, there's going to be some real chemistry between all of them.
Yeah, where do you want this team now to grow the most with 11 games remaining in Big Ten play?
Well, I think we got to shoot the ball. We got to get better offensively. We just sometimes we make some crazy turnovers. I think our break was really good. I don't think it's been as good lately. I think we're still missing shots, but I think we're taking some bad shots. We felt like out at Madison Square Garden, we were taking shots 3 feet, 4 feet behind I think we got mixed up on the college line, the NBA line. And so we got to home in on stuff like that, continue to work on our defense, continue to work on our rebounding. Our free throw shooting has been very good for us. There's a lot of room for margin for growth, but I think right now offensively, and now can we handle this kind of road trip? You know, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, going out west for the first time in a while for you. What's the game plan to prepare for 2 games out west?
Yeah, it's not only going out west, but as you say, the 2 games, you know, and you go to Maui, but everybody's in the same. This is different, you know, we'll get there, and they've been waiting for us. They didn't have to travel, and just like when they come here, it's the same, but that's a 3-hour time change is different, and everybody says, well, how are you going to handle it? I said, how do I know? I've never done it. But, you know, I've talked to some NBA teams. I've talked to some college teams that have done it. And, you know, we're going to go out Thursday night after school, after practice, and get acclimated Friday and play Saturday. And then, you know, you got a couple days to play again on Tuesday. The real killer, they say, is then coming back, getting in at 6, 7 in the morning, and having to play on that Saturday at noon against a very good Oregon team. So this is an incredible stretch. USC's playing a lot better. UCLA is really playing better. Now, they were picked higher to start with, and Oregon might have the most talent in the league.
As a Youper who's used to the cold, do you like going out to Cali for your birthday on Thursday?
You know what? Weather doesn't bother. I think it's beautiful out here right now. It's 40-some degrees. So I don't think I'll be surfing. I was thinking about it, but I don't think I'll do it. I think I'll just kind of work on USC, and isn't something I thought about.
Turning 70 though on Thursday, I guess. Where do you find this energy still, doing this for so long, and you know, in the middle of a season too?
I think age is overrated. I really do. You know, I think you want to find a way that college is good in that respect. You're around young kids every day. You're dealing with your players every day. Everybody on campus is vibrant. I don't feel much different than I did when I was 50. So I really mean that, and I think that's a good thing. You know, keep working on not getting older, but staying younger.
Yeah, 70 years young, I should say.
There you go.
Perfect. Awesome. With the win over Minnesota on Tuesday, the now 70-year-old Izzo picked up his 352nd Big Ten win, meaning he is just 2 wins away from passing former Indiana coach Bob Knight for the most Big Ten wins all time by a head coach. Someone who has been a part of the most recent wins over the last 4 years is MSU captain Jaden Akins. We'll sit down with him right after the break.
I love getting out and trying new things, but my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Of the 12 scholarship players on the Michigan State men's basketball team, only 2 are from the state of Michigan, Jaden Akins and Carson Cooper. Akins grew up a big Michigan State fan, and after years of hard work, he is a captain for this year's Spartans team. Our Tyler Driesinga recently sat down with Akins and discussed more on a childhood dream coming true.
If I knew this was going to be happening like my senior year, I would be happy just because, you know, I get a chance to play for my hometown school and be a big factor on a team that's winning, so there's nothing more you can ask for.
Jaden Akins is living out a childhood dream. Born and raised in Farmington, Michigan, he says it was always Michigan State.
What is your favorite childhood MSU-related memory?
I'll probably say the 2015 Michigan versus Michigan State football game at Michigan when we won on the final play. And then I used to just watch Gary Harris a lot. I watched Miles Bridges, you know, Cassius.
All these years later, Akins has built meaningful relationships with some of those guys he grew up idolizing, including, of course, head coach Tom Izzo.
And what do you view as some of the most important things that he has taught you that you'll carry with you into life beyond basketball?
I just would say, like, he always says you either like it, love it, or live it. And, like, if you live something, then you're going to be more successful at it because it's just something that it's coming second nature to you and something that you really want to do. And then, I mean, he just teaches you how to be a man, how to take care of your business, and, you know, how to accept responsibilities.
Aiken's responsibilities on the court have steadily increased over the course of his career. He started 1 game as a freshman, 25 as a sophomore, and was the only player to start in all 35 games last year. Now he's the captain of one of the top 10 teams in America.
What advice would you give that freshman Jaden about the road ahead?
I would just tell him to continue working, never get too high or too low on yourself. Always try to see the positive in things and, you know, embrace the journey.
What are you the most proud of individually from your Spartan career to this point?
I would just say my resilience. It's never been always smooth sailing. There's been ups and downs, but I felt like I just stayed true and I always believed that, you know, there's a brighter side.
These days, it's easy to see the bright side. MSU has won 13 consecutive games and holds a 2-game lead in the Big Ten standings. The Spartans' strength has been their scoring balance, but Aikens is leading the way at 13.6 points per game. He's the only player averaging double figures.
Do you ever think about that 10, 12-year-old kid who grew up a Michigan State fan and what he would say if he could see where you are right now and all that you've achieved here?
He would definitely be proud of me because, you know, that was once a dream of mine to be able to play here and, you know, actually be able to play here and be a key part of a team. I mean, that means a lot to me.
What are you the most grateful for about your time here at MSU?
I would just say all the lessons that I've learned and the things that I had to go through and just the teams that I've been a part of. I'm just grateful for all the relationships I've made just being here.
And when it's all said and done, what is it that you hope people remember about who you were and what you brought to this team and to this program?
I just want people to remember me as someone who was a hard worker, who never quit, and just always wanted to succeed.
Aikens crossed the 1,000 career point mark in the team's win over Northwestern in mid-January, as Aikens has been a constant presence for Coach Izzo and his program over the years. Saturday's game at USC will mark the 61st straight game Aikens has started for the green and white. Someone who has not started a game yet for Michigan State is freshman guard Jace Richardson, who is still making a big impact in year 1 in East Lansing. We'll sit down with him right after the break.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
He has one of the higher basketball IQs of any player I've coached. He just sees the game and it comes very smooth to him. But probably the biggest thing he has is unselfishness. Sometimes I'm telling him, look for your shot more, do this more. Very seldom do you have to tell a guard to do that. But he does have a high basketball IQ, and he's really learning to play with Jeremy and Trey and Jaden and Cohen, and I threw that nice lob to Cohen. Sooner or later, there's going to be some real chemistry between all of them.
Michigan State freshman guard Jace Richardson knew early on in his life he wanted to play for Tom Izzo and MSU. And while most players don't get to experience the historic culture that has been built here at MSU until their official visit in high school, Richardson knew early on all about the Spartan culture. And our Sharian McBroom explains more on how Richardson is hoping to leave his own footprints here in East Lansing.
For many players, suiting up to play basketball for the Spartans already provides its own pressure. But when your dad is a former Michigan State basketball alum and former national champion Jason Richardson, the pressures could be even heavier. But for freshman Jace Richardson, seeing what his dad accomplished on the hardwood did nothing but motivate him.
Oh, most definitely. I think just my dad being in the NBA, him playing, and just me being always around it, watching it, and just being around him when he was going through it, kind of just like influenced me at a young age to go play.
I know when we talked to other people, they said, they start coming to games maybe during recruitment. Do you remember when you first came to a Michigan State game?
Yeah, it was the 10-year reunion of the national championship team. They were playing Florida, So I came in, I think I was 6, 7. It's the first time I got to experience the Breslin, first time I got to experience a game here.
How many more games did you get to come to over the years before, like, Michigan State became an option?
I went to the Final Four 2019, so that was, I think, my last time before I really started becoming a recruit. Being at that, there was me, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way, no, I don't want to play in this. Like, I want this to be me in like a couple years. So just being at that experience, it really shows how much I was really loving it.
How does it compare to what you thought Michigan State was going to be like to, I'm sure the hard work is another thing, but the excitement that it is to actually suit up and get to have fun out there with your brothers?
Oh, it's a lot different. You know, you're growing up watching people playing the jersey, now you're finally in it. So it's definitely a different feel when you're playing out there and you're the one on the court making the plays, so it's super fun.
How would you assess your progress from when you came to your first practice and started here to where you are now, how you've progressed over the season?
I think I've physically and mentally progressed. I'm thinking the game a lot more than I was, physically stronger, so I'm handling more pressure, especially in the Big Ten because it's one of the toughest conferences there.
And with his dad having a 14-year NBA career and his little brother molding his own basketball career, you could say this is a family of hoopers, and that includes Jace's mother, who he says has been very instrumental in his journey.
I mean, she also played it too, so I mean, everybody in the family loves it. They enjoy it. She coached me, so she's always been around it as well. She was definitely my toughest coach, for sure. But at the end of the day, it was all love. She was teaching me the game, honestly, because she played. And then just me being a point guard, she had to put a lot of trust in me, especially to run the offense. Yeah, she definitely pushed me to my limits, pushing me to get better every single day. I mean, there was a lot of days I'm like, man, she's on me hard today, but I already knew she was trying to get me better.
From playing for his mom to now playing for Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo, Jay says there's one constant that always gets him through the tough challenges.
I mean, the one thing that's super successful is just work. Honestly, we work hard in practice. You got the extra work. You got to take care of your body. So it's just a lot of work and preparation that goes into it.
And a lot of people, you know, try to compare you to your dad. How have you worked to create your own lane for yourself and create your own legacy here at Michigan State?
For me, creating my own legacy, I think we just play really different ways of basketball. So for me, it's really not that hard to deviate from my dad because I feel like we do two totally different things out there.
If you had to pick one thing that you would like to have from your dad, what would that be? Because I grew up watching him in the NBA, and I know, like, you know, I know he had hops. Like, I know you get up there too.
I 100% need that. I think I'm the only boy in the family that doesn't jump that high. So my little brother jumps like 40 inches vert. He had a 45-inch vert. I think mine's like 39. So I definitely need a little bit more from him.
His freshman year, he was a key reserve. They went to the Final Four and won that championship. This year, you're a key reserve. You're a freshman. You know, how much would it mean to you to kind of do that same thing with this program?
I mean, it means a lot, especially to the start we've gotten off so far. I mean, we've been working really hard. We've been pushing ourselves right now, undefeated in the Big Ten, so we just got to remain the course and keep working. We got a whole bunch of different guys in a whole bunch of different roles this year, especially with the younger guys. So we're kind of finding our spot, gelling together, and I think since Maui, we just taken off. We have 10, 11 guys that can play on any given night, and we can pick each other up if somebody's not having a great game, so that strength in numbers actually means something to us.
Richardson and the Spartans have 11 games remaining in the regular season, and the road to winning the program's first Big Ten regular season title since 2020 will now get a little tougher, as 6 of the next 11 games will be against teams who are currently ranked in the AP Top 25 or were ranked a week ago. That is going to be it for this week's show. As always, we hope you enjoyed, and before we go, here's our Play of the Week.
Now, the Play of the Week, sponsored by Schupan & Sons.
Ball batted around, back to Richardson. Carr. Oh, wow! Man, it's almost every game. Look at the way Cohen Carr is running that wing, and Parker Fox gets caught up underneath. And this dude is one of the best dunkers in the world. I really am convinced of that. That says it all right there.
10,000 Michigan children are in foster care, and many of them need a temporary home. Are you open?
As a foster parent, you help a child reach their goals.
You make a game-changing assist.
You give a child the home advantage.
And you do it because you know every child deserves a special team.
Ready to cheer on a child? Take the first step to become a foster parent today.
When you grocery shop with MSU FCU Cashback Plus, you get cash back. When you buy prescriptions, you get cash back. When you travel, dine out, buy gas, make home improvements, get up to 20% of your hard-earned cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Discover how at msufcu.org/cashback plus.